Welcome back to LiveWire. We've kicked off day 2 of our live coverage from E3, and we're going to talk about one of the biggest games coming out this year, Spore. Now, we've all played with the character creator, and now we're waiting for the full experience. I've got Fargo with me. Fargo, take it away.
Thank you very much. I have Lucy Bradshaw with me from Maxis, correct?
Yeah.
Now most people associate Will Wright with the game Spore, but you're really kind of where the rubber hits the road, right? You're really the sort of design voice.
We've got actually quite a large team working on the project. Lots of incredibly talented people, and we're just down to the finishing line and making sure it's all tightened down and ready to go out the door practically.
Final polish, excellent.
Absolutely.
Okay. So I've got a chance at E3 here. I've played the game almost an hour, so I got to say there's a lot of gameplay to it. There's a lot there, and so I really wanted to kind of break it down. Let's just talk about the 5 phases of Spore and all the kind of interesting things that go on. So how do things kick off?
Well, you start as a little single cell, and you plunge, taking a ride on a meteor down onto a planet where you find yourself in a tide pool. The very early stages of the game, in cell stage and creature stage, are all about that sort of evolutionary process. So you have to survive in the tide pool. You eat to grow. And that in turn gives you the right to earn DNA, where you go to
you're finding creature parts as you swim around the goop, right?
other cells give you parts, and you can find meteor bits that give you parts as well.
Now there's some important decisions to make there too. I mean, basically it's what you eat determines what happens. Now, as I understand it, you get special abilities throughout the whole rest of the game. So if you decide to be a carnivore, what does that give you throughout?
Well, absolutely. In your cell stage, your diet is one of the biggest things that you determine. Are you going to be attacking other cells, or are you going to be eating plants? And each time you earn some more DNA, you can go to the cell creator. You can add the parts that you found. And these are really the sort of strategic role to the gameplay, because those parts give you abilities. They also sort of set who you're making, who's your species, what are they like.
What kind of strategies do you have as a cell?
Aggressive or more social or timid, are you going to be hiding, behind the plankton, or are you going to be like taking it out on other cells? And that in turn sort of sets a trait. So as you advance into creature stage, you have a certain new, unique ability that's unique to the sort of species that you are.
And he carries it through for the whole game, which is one of the things that surprised me is, the decisions you make as a little microbe with an eyeball affects the space game later on, right? So about how long do you spend as a cell?
Well, the cell is really just sort of a little kind of tutorial phase for the entire game, getting you used to the creators, getting you used to sort of the dynamics. And we, about 20 minutes in that phase.
20 minutes or so, and then you're
you
right
actually cruise into the creature game.
So what? You get a little tiny brain. And then what happens next?
Well, you emerge onto land. Now you're in this incredible
That's the creature phase. Now you're phase 2.
And it's this ecosystem, and the cool thing is, the creature creator that we launched early, and people have been playing with and making creatures. All of these creatures will populate the planets that you emerge onto. So you're going to start seeing the creations that you may have seen on the Sporepedia on our website, populating your planet.
And there's almost 2 million creatures created already, right? The game isn't even out yet.
Absolutely. In fact, we were kind of astounded with just how many creatures were pouring in right at the beginning, and amazing creativity from the people using it.
Right. I've been really surprised. Now, just real quick, have any really surprised you? Any creatures?
There's some, just people are taking things in different directions. We've got some player made a whack-a-mole table. It actually walks around like a creature, and it's got little heads that pop up and a hammer that pops down as it walks about.
Crazy.
Then there are just some, skeletal creatures and just amazing sort of alien species, robotic looking.
So you're in creature phase, and now you've got some strategic decisions to make there as well. So what kinds of things can you do as a creature? You've got a nest.
Your opportunities really expand, because not only do you have an ecosystem and you're sort of navigating all the interactions that you have with other species, you can either befriend or attack them, and that's how you earn DNA in the creature stage. But there's a lot more parts to work with. Are you going to be stealthy? Will you, try flying, jump, or attack? And so your strategy of how you're going to evolve your creature physically really makes a difference in terms of your gameplay.
So one thing that impressed me about the creature phase was, as you add these parts, they give your creature special moves. And so really, to me, it felt like playing an RPG, or like I was playing Diablo or something. I could really, your moves were bound to the number keys, so you could really kind of create an attack pattern, I'm going to charge, claw, bite, spit poison.
Yeah, I have a tendency to work both on the WASD keys plus on the, the different ability buttons, and then you also have your special abilities. So
special abilities. So I guess people can understand, certainly if you attack a monster, you can eat it, and then you get some food. Now, why would you want to befriend a creature at this stage? What would you get out of that?
Well, when you befriend creatures, you can actually form a pack as you advance in your own, intelligence. So as you become more sentient, your communication skills increase, and when you have a pack, they'll help you out. So they'll follow you around and they'll help you attack.
So
or
you get a
defend
whole
yourself.
party of creatures.
And
now
you can go
instead
either
of-
multi-species parties, or you can have a pack of your own species. So
It really
kind
is
of gets
like
really
an
powerful.
RPG. Yeah, yeah. Now you were
It's
saying
just kind of like a PvP server type of thing. I
It
mean,
sounds
this
like
sounds
it,
like
doesn't it?
one of those kind of deals.
It's crazy because of all of the different unique species you're encountering too. So you can get a pretty crazy looking pack going.
now you were saying before we started the interview that the game actually turned out a little deeper than you had intended. Like there's a little more to it.
Well, there's actually, each stage, because once you advance from creature stage, you're going to emerge into the tribal phase, where you have a small village, and you're really playing more of an RTS style, where you're kind of managing your tribe, trying to grow its population.
So you stop playing an individual creature. Now you pull back, and it's a whole group. So now
Yep,
it's an RTS
exactly.
gameplay.
But you're competing with other tribes that are starting to emerge of other species. And again, you can kind of take a very industrious route or an aggressive route with the other tribes, or social. And ultimately unifying the tribes or competing with the other tribes on your continent is your road to success.
Well, not to interrupt, but we actually are running out of time, so we're going to hop to reader questions really quick. We've got
Great.
two. OUS Anborn Double E wants to know, I'm not even
They don't make it
attempting that
easy.
one.
They don't
I
make it
know,
easy on
I
you,
can't
yeah.
believe these names. How long will it take a casual gamer to complete the game?
Well, we've really geared it toward a lot of different play styles. You've got easy, normal, and hard mode. And if you play in easy mode and you're kind of unfamiliar with games, you can still dabble and get through the game. We wanted to make it sort of a 10-hour experience to get to space, which is a really open-ended stage of the game where you get to explore and kind of take your pace.
Right.
Now, that said, once you go through any game stage, it unlocks the next one. So even if you don't successfully finish one, you still unlock the creature stage and you can dabble in that as well. And right from the galaxy, you can jump into any of the creators because we know a lot of people want to try that out.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, moving on to question 2. 0051 wants to know, how will the end game content make us keep playing?
Well, the thing is, as you explore the galaxy, every single planet that you come to is unique. And it's populated with unique creations, whether they be buildings, vehicles, creatures, and people have sculpted these planets themselves. So you're always finding something new and fresh. And then you can sculpt your own planets as well.
Yeah.
There is sort of a little quest in there as well to the center of the galaxy, and I'll just drop that hint and let players take that where it goes.
Nice. All right, well, thanks a lot. We are going to actually lose a lot of hours playing this game. I know I will, sadly. Not that I have many. But everyone at home, stay tuned all day for more from E3.